Okay, what's going on, everybody? So it's Thursday, October 13th, and we're going to bust into a little Asian session analysis, a little analysis for London session, and a little analysis for New York session tomorrow for Friday. So first off, let's just jump into the news before I forget. See if there's any type of news events tomorrow. Okay, cool. So we have core retail sales at 8:30 a.m. and then whatever the hell this is at 10 a.m. So 8:30 a.m., 10 a.m. doesn't really bother me because I don't trade at that time. But 8:30 a.m. we should see some USD volume, which will obviously affect gold and should bring some volume into GJ as well. So that's news for tomorrow. So let's do a analysis on GJ. Okay, cool. So if we look at GJ on the daily time frame, you can see that we are at a resistance zone. We're at a big rejection zone here on the daily time frame. So that means that, we obviously could see some sort of rejection here. We ultimately just kind of need to see what it looks like on 4 hour. And so if we look at 4 hour, not only do we have a resistance on a resistance that's formed currently here, but we also have, past rejections in this zone as well. So that's 4 hour, kind of resistance rejection zone. And so we do have this big wick here, and yeah. And so as you can see, we're already rejecting this area. If 4 hour candle continues bullish, breaks a high, who knows, we could fill this wick and continue, or we could reject here, kind of correct some of this move here, and so on. So based on daily and 4 hour, we're obviously at a major rejection zone. And then if we look at the hourly time frame here, let's see. I can find this end here. Okay, cool. So if we look at the hourly time frame here, you can see we have another rejection zone that's looking a little bit more firm there. And so if we just go back here and check out what that looks like in the past, you always have to look left and see what candles did in the past. Okay, cool. So this is that rejection zone. Makes sense. Okay, perfect. And so with that being said, we obviously have a support forming here. So we have a resistance on the hourly, and then we also have a hourly support. And so if we look at the 30-minute now, you can see that we're in a pretty nice range here. So we have we have resistance here, and we have support here. So, sells below here look very good. Sells below there look very good. Now we have to look left to see where the target for buys can be. And based on that, we're going to figure out our move that we're going to be looking for buys. So we have this wick fill. We can mark this up. That's one potential target for buys. But let's see if we can find some candle structure here. Okay, perfect. Now notice I had to go all the way back to June 22nd to find this. Now sometimes this is what you got to do to find, what price is likely to do in these zones. And it's very important that you do this. It's very important that you look at the past history and see what price is likely to do in those zones. So we do have, a rejection zone here, a resistance there, and, lots of little resistances here. So this is going to be, not a good traffic zone to come through. We have lots of little resistances there. And let's see. Okay, yeah, that's rejection zone. And, we have another, resistance up here. Okay, cool. So, we can see that this range is pretty good to trade through, 58 pips, but we do see that candles, did have some problems falling through here. So definitely going to want to be cautious there. So let's go ahead into current time here. So based on what we have drawn up, we can remove this box, we can remove that box, and we can see, okay, cool. So cells below here are really clear. Cells below are really clear. And, a good target that we can target here is right here, which would be, just this kind of, this little disruption here is, a safe target for price to fall to. And so if we look at buys, all of these ranges are very small. 12 pips, not tradable, 10 pips, and then we have, this 58, 60 pip range. So buys are going to look a lot better above here. And then, we'll target this first zone as far as buys. Now, remember, like I said, there was a lot of wicks in this area. There was a lot of, kind of trouble. Notice how this is nice, clean candle. It wasn't like this on the top side. So buys might not be the best option, but we do have, current, like, clean range there. There hasn't been price there in quite some time, since June or so. So we can anticipate that if price does close above here, it should continue bullish, but it might have some trouble. So that's just kind of why we want to, assure that, okay, if we have candle close above this level, we should continue to hear it, no problem. But sells below look amazing. Sells below look really good. So that's what we're going to be looking for GJ. So let's check out gold real quick. Now gold, if we look at the daily, okay, cool. So we had strong bearish candle on the daily, but with a huge rejection, and we can kind of anticipate, like, okay, cool, something happened in that area that is causing, this rejection on lower time frame. Maybe it's, heavy traffic area, who knows, but let's see. Okay, cool, perfect sense. So, on the 4 hour, we can already see that price has had some problems in this area. And, if we look at current 4 hour, we're looking at, this support here, and then obviously this resistance here. So if we drop down to hourly, and let me just move these in just so it's a little bit easier. A little bit easier to navigate. If we drop down to hourly, we can say, okay, cool, support. Now we do have this past, rejection zone here, even though we had clean candle through this zone in the past. We just want to make sure that everything looks good in that area across all time frames. Okay, cool. Cool. So if we look at 30-minute here, we can see that we are obviously in a range here. And let me just adjust these. We can obviously see that we're in a range here, and if we break this range, where are we likely to go? That's what you need to be asking yourself. So, if we break to the upside, I'm not sure what just happened to that, but if we break to the upside here, we have like resistance right here. We can't, sorry, I'm a little handicapped today as far as the buttons I'm clicking. But if we look to the north side, we have, 6 pips here, and then, 48 pips here. And this is a nice clean candle above here. So I think, trading for buys above here is gonna make much more sense than, the previous range. Let's look. This is gonna be 35 pips. Beautiful. And then obviously, we have nice movement through here as well. So we can mark this up as well. And, we'll just get rid of this zone just to make it clear. And what we're going to do here is we're going to mark up this zone here. And then also, to come down. So we'll go ahead and get rid of this, get rid of this. The boxes just make it a little bit more messier for me. That's just personal preference. But we can clearly see here that, oh, my apologies. We can clearly see here that if we have a break and close below 1663, you know, we have a solid, you know, 40 pips or so down. And then if we continue down, you know, that's a solid 126 pips. So that's a beautiful trading range. So this is going to be a no trade zone here. We're going to look for sells below here. And then this is going to be first target for sells. And then this is going to be second target for sells. Now this is aggressive take profit. This is conservative take profit. It's very high probability price is going to continue through here. But will it, you know, form a support and then resistance and continue? Who knows? But we know there's a very high probability price is going to continue through here. Now here is another question. So it's going to be a little bit more aggressive, and that's why we set it up that way. Cool. And so same type of thing for buys even. You know, target for buys and then target for buys. Ultimately, you know, we would like to anticipate price to head up to this zone, but this is going to be the first stop. Actually, the first stop is going to be this wick fill right here, and then from there. So let's just make sure that that wick fill is even enough range. Okay, cool. 18, 19 pips, that should be good. And then 38 pips up there. So that's what we're going to look for gold. You know, sells below 1663, buys above 1667. We got targets laid out for both options, and that's that. So that's gold, that's GJ. From here, we just got to be patient. We got to see which direction candles are going to print and where we can get confirmations to enter. Now, with that said, don't forget to like the video. Please subscribe to my channel. Turn on post notifications, that way so anytime I release new videos, I go live, things like that, you are notified. And hop in my free Forex Telegram community. Link is in the description, or you can just go to mikepogles.club and the link is right there. So catch you on the next video. That's the Asian session analysis for Thursday, October 13th. Adios.